Welcome. It's indisputable. Good to be with you. We got a lot of show today. Breaking down news of the day with me, none other than Senator Nina Turner, former Ohio State Senator, TYT contributor, and all-around great individual. Also, Bullpen, my debate segment. I will be with Albert Eisenberg, commentator of Young Voices. We're gonna chop it up about a couple of things, all right? All right, top story of the day. Kyle Rittenhouse is no longer at Arizona State University. But the truth is, he probably wasn't there in the first place. He just lied, okay? So here's the background. We covered this initially when students decided to protest his attendance at their institution. They have the right to do that. Kyle Rittenhouse, who testified last month, okay? Remember, this is on the record. He testified last month at his homicide trial that he was a student. Keep that in mind. That he was a student studying nursing at Arizona State University. He's no longer enrolled at the school, according to a report from the Phoenix New Times. Let's put up a picture of old Kyle, okay? All right. He lied because according to the institution, he never was an actual student taking nursing classes, but in fact, he was part of a non-credit course, one of those courses you can just sign up online as long as you have an email and a computer, you can sit for a class. Okay, so he wasn't a student. He lied about that. He also, according to his attorney, lied about being a medic when he was in Kenosha. He lied about that too. He lied about his credentials. He told people that he was in fact a trained medic. Another lie, all right? Not sure why this prosecutor, when allowed, did not call Kyle Rittenhouse out on his character. He did not. All right, here's something else. Put up the picture of Kyle Rittenhouse flashing what looks to be a white power symbol, okay? Now, for me, if I'm an administrator of a university or professor or director, which by the way I am, that's enough for me to say hell to the no. That student will not be on our campus because that's contrary to the anti-discriminatory clause of the federal government that we must adhere to because we are an institution that accepts federal aid. See how easy that is for me to do? Any other college, university professor can do something very similar. So he's no longer there according to the new narrative. Rittenhouse, who was found not guilty on self-defense grounds earlier this month for shooting and killing 2 people and wounding of a third during a protest in Kenosha, August 2020, said in an interview with Tucker Carlson on Fox News that he planned to attend classes on campus. After his testimony, Arizona State University said he was a non-degree student enrolled in classes at the school. They also said he was not part of the nursing program whatsoever, as he indicated during the trial. It was a lie. It was not part of that program. A number of student groups on campus mounted protests against Rittenhouse's enrollment at the university, which is one of the largest in the state. He's out of there according to the narrative. Now, we had a poll at TYT. I think that poll is still active. TYT.com/polls. Yeah, /Rittenhouse -rejected. Do you think he should be gone? Not just from ASU, but any other institution, all right? We're now in the court of public opinion. I understand people say, well, he has certain rights. Okay, fine, he does in the court of law. He does, absolutely 100%. But he's in the court of public opinion here, okay? We get to utilize common sense, not just what Judge Schroeder allows us to see. Senator Turner, what are your thoughts here?
The white gang sign, I mean, you really laid it out, Doc, is very troubling. And it should be troubling to anyone. I will also say that this cannot just be about that trial. And as you have laid out, this is not just about the trial. It is about how he comports himself, period. And that he would be somebody that would be a student unbecoming and therefore should not be allowed to be enrolled in Arizona State. My only caution there is that if it is about his gang sign and not necessarily the trial, because that kind of thing can boomerang. There might be somebody else on trial that we believe should have the opportunity to attend a college or a university. And if they don't have any of that other stuff swirling around them, then quite certainly they should be able to be enrolled. So I just say we got to be a little careful because these kinds of things can boomerang the other way as well.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And in my research of the rules, the reason why the Kyle Rittenhouse signal, his white supremacy signal allegedly, would be a no-no to a college administrator is because of the federal government's financial aid clause that says if you accept financial aid, you also have to create an environment to protect individuals in protected classes. So you, as an institution, would be at risk of losing financial aid if in fact the behavior of a student or potential student has been deemed to be discriminatory based on race, gender, and or sexual orientation. So this doesn't cover, let's say if somebody is a former Piru blood, it would not cover them based on the statutory language. However, I get your point, Senator, because we have seen individuals in the application of law try to create bias and expand the actual wording of the statute. So I get what you're saying 100%.
That's exactly right, but you laid it out for them. And then what else is troubling too is how he was able to puff up his resume to make it seem as though he was more than what he really was professionally. And it was another way to kind of whitewash is coming to mind, you know, but to really make him seem very upstanding. It was it was more than an exaggeration. He flat out lied. So there we are.
Yep. Let me bring everyone's attention to a reality that nobody wants to hear, but it's the truth. There are members of Congress who want to see other members of Congress dead. They want them killed, okay? I'm gonna lay it out to you plainly as I can. Let me first show you this video of Representative Omar. Here it is.
I'm going to play you a voicemail that we received hours after I got off the phone with Representative Boebert after she posted her video.
We see you, Muslim son of a bitch. We know what you're up to. You're all about taking over the country. Don't worry, there's plenty that will love the opportunity to take you off the face of the earth. Come get it, bitch, you Muslim piece of shit, you jihadist. We know what you are. You're a traitor. You will not live much longer, bitch. I can almost guarantee you that these people are rising up, and you will be tried for a military tribunal, and you will be found guilty.
Representative Omar is a remarkable woman and a great representative for her district and an asset to the United States of America. I've had the pleasure of interviewing her multiple times on my radio program. So let me show you the cause and effect relationship to why she got that message and other death threats that are coming to her now on a very consistent basis. All right, Lauren Boeberts, another US congressperson, right? Has gone on this anti-Muslim rant against her and others. She has not played by the rules, okay? I'm gonna explain those rules in a minute. Let me remind everyone that Representative Omar said Tuesday that she has reported hundreds, let me say that again, hundreds of threats on my life, often triggered by Republican attacks on my faith, and added that she's seen an increase this week. Did the increase come from? It came from the statement of Representative Boebert. That's how it happened, okay? Cause and effect. These are the original comments made by the Representative Boebert that preceded these death threats. I look to my left and there she is, Ilhan Omar. And I said, well, she doesn't have a backpack. We should be fine. Boebert said to her audience, some of whom applauded. Boebert added, and I said, oh, look, the Jihad Squad decided to show up for work today. They're sick. A video was released this week of Boebert making similar comments in September. Let's go to the next video. Here it is.
One of my staffers on his first day with me got into an elevator in the Capitol. And in that elevator, we were joined by Ilhan Omar. Well, it was just us three in there, and I looked over and I said, well, look at there, it's the Jihad Squad. Yeah. I do have to say, she wasn't dropping and running, so we're good.
Here's what I want you to see. This is part of her stump speech. It's not a mistake she made in one speech. It's not something that she just thought maybe it was not offensive, so she just made this thing one time happen. No, she says it on a regular basis. We have multiple recordings of her saying the exact same thing and not caring about the repercussion afterwards, all right? So Omar says that encounter never happened. That whole elevator thing completely made up, all right? So there was a call between Representative Omar and Boebert. This call was supposed to help resolve some of this conflict, right? And an apology was supposed to be presented to Representative Omar. The conversation with Boebert sought after issuing a statement last Friday offered an opportunity to extend an olive branch in a house riven by tension. Instead, it ended abruptly after Representative Boebert rejected Representative Omar's request for a public apology. Boebert previously apologized to anyone in the Muslim community I offended, but not directly to Omar. Instead of apologizing for her Islamophobic comments and fabricated lies, Representative Boebert refused to publicly acknowledge her hurtful and dangerous comments, Omar said. She instead doubled down on her rhetoric, and I decided to end the unproductive call. Let me say something that's very sobering. These people, and I mean it when I say these people, Boebert and her crew, they would rather see Representative Omar dead. Now, have you heard a mass movement from the Republican Party saying this is unacceptable? This is wrong. There needs to be a penalty here. Let me show you how deep this is. All of your HR laws that you have to follow, I have to follow, right? You know who created those laws? They did. The US Congress did. We have to follow those rules, those conduct clauses. So you mean to tell me that you can go to the office, make a video about killing one of your coworkers, you can talk about their faith, you can incite others to call them and threaten their life. You can go to the office and absolutely nothing will happen to you if you work for Congress. There's no other job in America that would accept that kind of lunacy, except in the US Congress. They give you rules that they choose not to follow. Senator, what are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, Doc, lunacy going in and lunacy coming out. They're hypocrites, period. And that's why we have this. You know, Representative Omar is everything that you described her to be. I know her personally. She loves this country. More importantly, she loves justice. And she has been victimized from the moment she was elected. You know, I remember she replaced now Attorney General Keith Ellison. You know, I was right there. So I know this woman, and I just hate so very much that she has to endure this, and also her family. She has children that have to endure this too. And you're right, Doc, I'm glad you laid it on the line. They would rather have her dead. There is something wrong with these people. Colorado, voters' remorse, baby. That's what this comes down to. You guys get to do a do-over. Vote for somebody else. Vote this woman out. And Representative Omar is better than I am, Doc. Because see, it wouldn't have been no call. Because we already know what this woman is about, as you laid out. Or she would have been cussed all the way out. And let her go ahead and play that. Yeah, roll this tape. Because you're about to get cussed all the way out, lady. because that's all she deserves. She stokes this, and then her non-apology, it wasn't even an apology. Then you start to threaten Representative Omar and tell her what she needs to do when your behind was supposed to be calling her to apologize. These people just don't give a damn, Doc. That is what this comes down to, period. We can't sugarcoat it. Ain't no sugarcoating. And you know what? The Congress needs to hold her accountable. So if the Republicans are not, then the Democrats need to hold her accountable.
Yeah, somebody needs to do something, and they need to do something quickly. We're talking about a real threat. There has to be a response. We're not talking about physical violence or anything like that. We're talking about an appropriate political response inside of a political atmosphere. All right?
Exactly.
Okay. Liberty University professor. You know Liberty University, the home of all of the Christian evangelical students, right? And their faculty. Well, one of their professors, let's put this guy's picture up. One of their professors has been arrested on suspicion of sexual battery and abduction. That's him. His name is William Atwell, all right? Atwell was arrested by Liberty University police on November 20th and charged with sexual battery and abduction by force or intimidation related to an incident on September 15th, 2021. Atwell, who is listed on Liberty University's website as an associate professor of American Sign Language, has been charged in Lynchburg General District Court. Atwell was released from the Lynchburg Adult Detention Center on Monday after posting how much? A whopping $3,000 bond. Okay? He is set to appear in court January 25th, 2022. In a statement, there's always a statement. In a statement, a school spokesperson said that it takes nothing more seriously than claims that a faculty member has had inappropriate sexual contact with one of our students, something for which there is zero tolerance. We are treating this matter with the utmost seriousness, care, and concern. The statement continued, with the student's consent, the university turned the matter over to the appropriate legal authorities, and the faculty member in question was arrested. The faculty member has also been suspended by the university pending the outcome of this matter. Okay, let's be very clear. This is the same university that decided to back Donald Trump even after he was on recording saying he likes to grab women by the you-know-what. He likes to just go up and start kissing them. He don't ask no questions. That's called sexual assault. Same university that backed him, invited him to be their keynote speaker after those comments were on the record. That's the same university trying to moralize now against one of their professors. Seems like to me he's following the Trump guidebook here, okay? You gave Trump a pass. It's very sad professors of any caliber would take advantage of students on any day of the week. But Liberty University, they're not completely clean here as an institution. Atwell's case comes as Liberty faces multiple lawsuits alleging the university punished students who did what? Reported sexual assault. That sounds more like the Liberty I know. Including one where 12 anonymous women, most of whom are former Liberty University employees or students, claim Liberty, and I quote, enabled on-campus rapes and suppressed complaints of sexual assault and rape. Last month, Liberty University filed a restraining order to bar a former employee from revealing information related to his claim that he was fired for speaking out on the school's failure to properly address sexual assault allegations. Senator?
The Attorney General of that state should come on in there.
Yep,
we can't leave Liberty to their own devices here. It is very clear, just go ahead and follow the breadcrumbs. There's several of them, it's not just one. It's multiple. And so, yeah, I see this as something that the state needs to take up and not leave it to the university. So local jurisdiction, maybe it's the county, but I want to see the AG of that state come on in there and maybe federal. Yeah.
You need more because usually these state agencies get involved and other agencies get involved when there's strong conspiracy because you need the investigative manpower to unravel all of that. So I agree with you 100%.
Exactly right.
Okay, all right, we got more on the other side. It's indisputable, stick and stay. All right, welcome back. We got a lot of show left. Do not forget, all right, do not forget, Shop TYT, last day for this massive sale. Massive sale. You know what else we got? We got the anti-Karen shirts, okay? Antica. We got them. If you're thinking of gifting your loved ones some progressive merch this year, this is your last chance to receive guaranteed shipping in time for the holidays. Shop TYT has 20% off site-wide, the whole thing. Use code HOLIDAZE, HOLIDAZE at checkout. All right, you got 20% off. You use the code. I mean, at the end of this deal, you owe me money. That's how great this deal is, okay? All orders must be placed by Sunday, December 5th for us to be able to guarantee that, before holiday delivery. Give the gift of the progressive message with somebody you love. Or hey, listen, or somebody you hate, right? Make them mad, okay? Membership, your membership helps keep TYT sustainable and empowers us to fight for positive change. You're part of that change. By becoming a TYT member, you'll be part of a change machine that will not stop, all right? Make sure you sign up, join the fight, tyt.com/change. And don't forget Reactions with Rayvana right after Indisputable, Twitch exclusive, okay? Very smart, brilliant, great context in her delivery. Twitch.tv/TYT. Let's read some of these amazing comments. Mickey C, the Silverhaired Dragon says, students are turned down for admittance for a lot of reasons, right, correct. One of the things they consider is extracurricular activity. That's right, it's not just GPA, it's what you do outside of academics, that's right. You are allowed to consider that. Partying and drinking with the Proud Boys may not be on the list. Neither might flashing the white supremacy sign or watching black men running, then saying he wish he had his AR so he could shoot all of them. They don't exactly equate to being on the debate team. That's very accurate. And I know that Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 white individuals. He went there to kill black people. So understand, he was going to a Black Lives Matter protest. He went there to kill black folks. All right, Shikata Ganai. I know I said it wrong, but Beer Dragon, all right? Beer Dragon. If I was still teaching at the college level, I would kick him out of my class. By the way, he lied about his credentials, which is in and of itself disqualifying for admission to any accredited college or university. That's 100% correct because it goes to character, you're right. Lynn says, I can just picture Boebert with a big smirk on her face while Omar was playing the threat. Yeah, you felt that too? I felt it also. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish a Karen would.
You want to call the police on him for having a barbecue on a Sunday.
You're still free! Back off!
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Do you know where we live? This is Miami, We can speak Spanish if we want to.
Yeah, I don't have to listen to it.
Yeah, you can go outside if you want to.
And you can go to hell.
Yeah.
I just said I moved, so I didn't have to listen to it.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
So don't upper your voices. That's all.
It's because you're being very rude because I'm speaking to my mom in Spanish.
I don't really care.
Imagine being so racist that you're racist against somebody's language. Well, that's actually a thing. It's called linguistic racism. Yep, I looked it up. Here it is in the terminology of linguistic anthropology. Linguistic racism is the use of language resources for discrimination, just what you saw there. The most evident manifestation of this kind of racism are racial slurs. However, there are covert forms of it. Andrea Moro, in his essay, Race and Language, shows that there are 2 ideas which look innocuous if considered as separated, but which are extremely dangerous if combined. First, that there are languages which are better than others. Second, that reality is perceived and elaborated differently according to the language one speaks. He highlights that this linguistic racism was the origin of the myth of Aryan race and the devastating results it had on civilization. So I looked into this essay further. It's quite compelling, by the way. But it makes the case and it shows how individuals who are, let's say, repelled by different languages usually have deep-rooted racial bias inside of them because they believe that their very language is superior to the language of other people, which also innately means that they believe that they are superior to other people. Senator Turner, what are your thoughts?
You better teach, teacher. I mean, and woman, look, learn Spanish if you're so worried. If you think they talk, learn the language. So then you will be bilingual too. No, it's ridiculous what she did in that waiting room. And they weren't even raising their voices when she, that lower your voice or whatever she said, trying to make it seem like they had elevated their voices. Why does it bother her that two people are speaking in Spanish or whatever language? I'm sure if they were speaking French, she wouldn't have had any problems.
That's right. That's the issue of the breakdown of linguistic racism, is that you create value, you attribute value to people based on the language they speak, which is insane when you consider, right?
There it is.
Okay, the rise of anti-Karens. Here it is.
You're screaming at employees at Walmart. Get out of here.
Not racist.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
The United States doesn't have an official language, jackass.
Educate yourselves. You need to.
How am I doing? Am I pretty cute?
You're really close to
Are
me.
you afraid? You should run away.
I don't like
But
how
you
close
have your
are.
super mask on.
I'm trying to protect you.
I don't need protection from you.
Oh, you just touched me. I really wish you hadn't.
no, I touched you.
Here,
I'm gonna get COVID.
No, you're probably going to give it to me. Are you going to leave?
Look at you.
Are you
What
going to
a
leave the store?
shame. Are you gonna leave the store? Are you gonna leave the store?
You're being very rude and aggressive to another
You
customer.
don't.
Would you please leave?
I'm aggressive?
Would you
I
please
Okay.
leave?
No, the
Would
thing
you
I wanted to
please
say,
leave?
which you wouldn't let me say, you all in my face, right? If I ever come back here again, and this thing is proven to be a hoax, I want an apology from each and every one of you. Chief. Educate yourselves.
Wait till someone you know is sick, and then you will see how much.
Nobody is sick, sweetheart.
Go for it.
Educate yourself.
Please leave.
Go online.
Please leave
and
now.
read and learn.
I mean, damn. This particular Karen, her Karenicity obviously runs deep. I titled this OG Karen. She's been Karening for a long time. So this particular Karen, she's upset that other people are wearing masks. That's a personal healthcare decision. You don't see this kind of reaction from people based on healthcare decisions like you do as it relates to COVID. COVID has been politicized, the whole conversation. It doesn't mean that the conversation of COVID is political. It has simply been politicized. Now, this reaction, obviously extreme, ridiculous, and insane. But anti-Karen was there. You know what we got for people? Shameless plug. Let's put up the anti-Karen t-shirts. We got them. If you would like to be an anti-Karen, which by the way, that's the top superhero happening right now, anti-Karens. All right, if you want to be down with the anti-Karen movement, shoptyt.com, shoptyt.com. We got hoodies, we got t-shirts, we got all that stuff. Senator Turner, this Karen was off the hook here. What are your thoughts?
She was. Anti-Karens unite, baby. We need
Right.
you. No, it's like preschool. I mean, she comported herself worse than a preschooler, because we understand why preschoolers act the way that they did. It's the thing we learned in psychology about the id and the ego. But this overgrown woman comporting herself this way was just absolutely ridiculous. And she's never getting an apology. She said that this thing was a hoax, meaning the virus is a hoax, and she wants an apology. She's never getting that apology. Does she not know that hundreds of thousands of people have already died due to complications of COVID? She talking about read and research. She needs to follow her own advice and read and research, but just all up in that person's face like that, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she needs to be careful. She's in a high risk category. She got to stop acting like this. And listen, she may be somebody's grandmother. I get that. I don't like seeing people who have been anti-mask or anti-vaccine contract COVID and die. It's one of the saddest things that I see because it's so avoidable, right? I mean, simple measures to protect yourself. I mean, a mask, social distancing, she decided to violate all of that. And that's infectious disease 101, okay? Think about this, Senator, think about this. If somebody walked into a building and they're coughing, right? Common cold. The average person with common sense capacity, they're gonna try to avoid being around that person because they don't wanna catch the common cold. That's common sense. That's not political. There's nothing political about that. But all of a sudden, COVID, contrary to the basic rules of viruses, does not make sense whatsoever until you calculate the political climate that it exists in. And that is it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's all.
All right, we got more. It's indisputable. Stick and stay. All right, welcome back. We got a lot of comments. Let me read as many as I can, okay? Let's get it. TYT member Shikata Ganai, Beer Dragon. Wow, that Karen would have a field day with me. I mean, I often converse in public in English, Spanish, Japanese, and Korean. She's so proud of being monolingual. And I'm proud of you for not. That's awesome, that's amazing. Okay, YouTube super chat. Jiu-jitsu guy, people who only speak one language making remarks at bilingual Americans is so America. I know, we speak American over here. All right, Bernie the Kiwi Dragon. I was at Heathrow Airport many years ago when a guy took issue with my speaking Cantonese. This at an international airport, I was speechless. That's a damn shame. I'm sorry you went through that. Stoneflower Dragon. I would have slapped her out of my face, and I'm not like that. And don't start being either. We understand the feeling though. Thank you, Ask Auntie Debbie. We appreciate that. Osiris XTV says, high-ranking Karen, probably a level 7 to level 8. You're wrong. That's level 10 action right there. Okay. Cooking with Miss D. Look at her. It's not cocktail time, sitting up there bothering these people because she. Y'all gotta stop making me say this stuff. Because she can't get any. Find someone who can take that frustration off you. I'm done. All right. King T says, beautiful shirts and hoodies, Doc. Mine, been ordered. That's what I'm talking about. That's the spirit. Okay. I have an update. Remember the two Karens, son, mom duo? Let me remind you, because I got an update. Here it is.
Want to know about what I'm doing here?
We just want to know what your job is and why.
None of your business.
Call the cops.
No, call the cops?
Yeah, this is not your apartment.
It's not my apartment.
Yes.
I don't need to tell you anything.
Do you have an ID on you, maybe?
I don't need to tell you what I'm doing because I'm not interacting with you. So call whoever you want to call. Huh? Yeah?
Secure building.
It's a secure building. Okay, so how do you think I got in here?
We don't know.
Did I follow you in here? Dude, seriously? You attacking me? Seriously?
Get that phone out of your
phone.
Hey!
What the hell's wrong with you? You stupid?
No,
Try something.
Stop
Try
it.
something.
Stop it.
Try something.
Get the out of my building.
Try something.
Get out of my building.
I'll call the cops.
Call the police.
Call the cops. I got it on camera. You attacked me. Call the cops.
I didn't attack the police. I didn't attack
you. You didn't attack me. I got it on camera. Call the police right now.
Okay, we're at 4 Academy Place in River House Apartments. We're in the parking deck, and there's some gentleman down here. We asked him what he was doing down here, and he said it's none of our business. And he's kind of gotten nasty towards us. So we kind of are trying to figure out why this person's in the parking deck, and he will not tell us why he's here. He says it's none of our business.
He's not showing any ID.
He's not. Will not show us his ID.
Call
it's
the
a secure
police.
building.
We are.
Call the police.
I'm not security, no. I live in this building and this person's walking around down here.
Please send the police because they attacked me. Send the police.
We did not attack you.
They attacked me. Please send the police to where they're located right now.
I'm going to call the
Send the
security
police.
officer for the building.
The young brother was actually working. He was working, okay? So there's an update. Now remember, he posted that he did in fact file a police report against this mother-son duo. You clearly see that he was attacked. You clearly see he is not the aggressor. You clearly see he is being harassed. Well, after that violent incident where he was the victim, the update now involves the son that hit him filing a police report and pressing charges. Here's the update.
And he fell. Mr. Blank stated Mr. Martinez then kicked him while he was down. The video Mr. Martinez had did not show him kicking Mr. Blank due to the camera being moved away very fast when the physical confrontation started. Mr. Blank showed me some redness and swelling to his leg. A picture was taken on my department issued phone. Mr. Blank stated he did not want to press charges on Mr. Martinez. Did not want to press charges. Mind you, this is on the day of that he was going to speak with the building manager and courtesy officer because he does not feel comfortable with Mr. Martinez being in the building at all. This guy said in this police report that I assaulted him. But what's even crazier than that was that one part that I'm disclosing like he wants to press charges. This police report says he does not want to press charges. So that means after the video went viral, after everybody seen it and everything happened, he decided, you know what? I'm gonna call the DA because I'm mad at him and I'm gonna press charges using a false police report. Basically using the levers of government and the DA's office and a false police report to try to press charges against me in order to basically try to hurt me for something that he started, he initiated, he assaulted me.
We got you back over here, brother. We saw exactly what happened. Let me highlight the law. This happened in Nashville. Here's the Tennessee law. Tennessee law says those making false accusations can be charged with a Class A misdemeanor, which can cause the accuser to go to jail for up to 1 month and pay up to a $2,500 fine. But here's the reality. The physical assault carries a harsher penalty. Why is it that this guy who assaulted the young man who was working, why is he not being held 100% responsible for his criminal actions? We don't have to apply this law. This is the secondary violation of law. The initial violation of law is what needs to be handled right now. Senator Turner, what do you see here?
You know, it really pains me that folks, black people and other people of color have to have cameras to prove themselves. Can you imagine if that gentleman that was working that night did not have his camera phone on, what they would have been able to get away with?
He would have got arrested. He would be in jail.
Would have. And trying to come for that man's livelihood, I feel his pain on that. And there should be a consequence and some repercussions for what that mother and that son did to him. But I'm just boiling because time and time again, we are constantly reminded that our humanity is not respected and that but for technology, Jesus, it would be so much worse than what it is right now.
Yeah, and let me remind everyone, when a person, when they decide to tell a black person, hey, show me your ID, right? You have no authority. You're harassing the black individual. That's the equivalent of saying, show me your freedom papers. There was a time in the United States of America where if you were walking around while black, any citizen, white citizen, could demand to see your freedom papers. And if you did not produce those freedom papers, law enforcement had a penalty for you immediately. And the citizen could take action against you and have complete immunity, okay? So this is very similar. This is the same ideology. This is a very sad story. Some people say it's a good ending, still sad story. Philly man accused of 6 murders, he didn't do them, has now been cleared, okay? Philadelphia man who was accused of committing 6 murders has been cleared of every single one of those charges, but not after, right? Not before, excuse me. He had to serve 25 years on death row and 30 years in prison totally. Christopher Williams, let's put up his picture with his son, Christopher Hartwell, and his grandson, Salim. Okay, Christopher's son was 6 months old when his father was arrested. This is so sad. Mr. Christopher Williams, 6 murders, convicted, never did him. Never did him. That means a real killer did not have justice applied to them. Okay, no one in the history of the United States has walked away exonerated for 6 homicides, who spent 25 years on death row with 2 execution warrants signed for his death. He was supposed to be killed. Christopher Williams, who was prosecuted for 6 murders but was acquitted of 2 and exonerated of 4, was released from prison in February. He filed a lawsuit Wednesday morning in US District Court in Philadelphia, naming as defendants the city, the former DA, trial prosecutor, and 17 police detectives. Good for him. In his lawsuit, Williams alleged police buried leads. They hid and destroyed evidence of alternative suspects, and they coerced troubled teenagers to tell fictitious stories to fit the evidence. And they did it all to obtain convictions at any cost, despite the truth. The complaint alleges a campaign of coercion by police and prosecutors to obtain false testimony from White, alternately threatening him with the death penalty and promising him early release from prison. Williams is represented by a legal team. The head of that legal team is none other than the big homie Ben Crump, good friend of mine, the high-profile civil rights lawyer who represents families of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. Crump said that as in those cases, Williams' story reflects both a historic injustice and a historical teachable moment for America. Chris Williams is almost like the symbol for wrongful conviction of black men in America. He added, "We have to be better than this. We cannot continue to let racism cloud our judgment when it comes to not even just wrongful conviction, but administering justice." I agree 100%. And I want to remind you all, we do a lot of these stories on Indisputable. You see a lot of these stories on mainstream media, right? And they're out, they're celebrating with family, and they're basically all black people or brown people. Why? You think that's a coincidence? Hell to the no. It's not a coincidence. It's called systemic bias. It's called prejudice in the system. It's called systemic racism. Senator Turner.
And adding to that, Doc, I mean, it's called the legal system working just as it was designed to do. So when people are feigning that they, oh my God, this is happening in America. Yes, it is happening. It has been happening and will continue to happen unless we get the heart to deal with systemic racism in the United States of America. And I believe what Mr. Williams has 26 grandchildren now.
That's right. Yep.
My God. And you know what, Doc, I hope he wins, but you know what? They will never, ever be able to repay that man.
Nope.
For the time he lost, because you can't get time back. You can get a whole bunch of other stuff, but you can never, ever get time back. And it also reminds me of some similar traits to what just happened in the case against those men in the Aubrey. For murdering Aubrey, we know that the the other folks were involved in covering it up because the father worked for the law enforcement. They did some similar stuff. So I hope that they are brought to justice too. It's two of them right now that I'm aware of, a woman and a man.
That's right. That's right. Barnhill is one. Jackie Johnson is the other. You're absolutely correct.
That's right.
Okay. Imagine, let me put it this way. Have you ever had to take one of those diversity training classes for your job? Okay. You have to sit down in front of a computer. You take the class. It's a bunch of zealous actors, not knocking them, but I'm telling the truth, right? And then you take a test at the end of it, diversity training, okay? Imagine if the people acting are white people acting and pretending to be black people in the diversity training that you're watching? Well, that's exactly what happened. I kid you not. A company that offers AI diversity training uses white actors to play black characters. Only in America. Mershon tells big corporate clients that its VR simulations will help teach racial sensitivity. But the actors playing as black characters are often white. Well, let me show you a real white man. His name is Mark Atkinson. He's the CEO of the company. All right, he's white for real, right? He's not playing one. A tech company that provides human resources training. I'm trying to get through the story, it's so damn silly. A tech company that provides human resources training to some of the world's largest corporations, okay, has been using white actors to portray people of color in virtual reality situations about diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm going to say it because it's true. This is blackface high tech. That's what this is. It gets deeper. The simulations created by corporate education company Mershon are hypothetical scenarios between a participant and animated humanoid avatars. The avatars are played by human actors who follow detailed scenario plans and sometimes improvise, okay? They make stuff up. The Mershon's actors are called simulation specialists. All right. Work alone playing all the roles in each simulation by using a voice modulator and remote controller to switch between characters. As a result, they often play characters of a race and gender different from their own. In simulations viewed by and described to BuzzFeed News, black avatars called out other characters' acts of discrimination, asked participants to rally their companies to support Black Lives Matter, and practice supporting a traumatized employee through incidents of racial injustice. One involved a scenario in which Child Protective Services removed a child from a black family. In each case, guess what? White actors played the roles of black characters. The CEO, Mark Atkinson, told BuzzFeed News that the company is working hard to improve its diversity and inclusion practices. What? He said, and I quote, "We recognize that as humans, we make mistakes. We're working really hard here. I mean, do you expect us to be the diversity that we teach people?" Yeah, we do actually. How hard is it to find somebody to, I mean, literally, they don't even have to act. Like this guy has a whole situation here where all people got to do is talk. You can't find black people to talk? That's what you're telling us. That takes hard work for you to find black folks to talk. Okay. Mershon is well aware of the criticism, but the company says the practice is a key to its mission. It's necessary for our business that one person plays all the characters in a simulation. Otherwise, it doesn't scale. He's talking about money, profitability. Nina Turner, sister, how much is a Z-list actor these days? Obviously, too damn much for this company.
I mean, look, they need one person, they hired a black person.
Right, there you go.
What is so hard about that? I mean, that you are absolutely right. This is definitely high tech, black fakes. I'm saying, Mark, baby Mark, please don't do this. First of all, your company should give a refund to all the companies that hire you.
Right.
Yeah. False advertisement. They need to have that fine print. You know that fine print from prescription drugs.
Yeah. Characters may be played by white people.
Maybe played. And when you said they need Tyrone, and we were talking before, right. You are absolutely right. They damn sure need Tyrone in the boardroom, and I can hear Erykah Badu in my ear right now. You better call Tyrone. Come on.
Sister, I appreciate you always. Thank you.
I appreciate you too, Doc.
Tell people how they can follow you.
At Nina Turner on Twitter, at Nina Turner Ohio on the gram, baby, and Nina Turner on Facebook. Come on through. Follow us, sister.
Always a pleasure. All right, we'll talk very soon. Reactions is next. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Take care of the planet. Remember, the truth is always indisputable.